She's younger, beautiful, confident. There's something in her that glows with life, untouched by the heaviness of tires you've carried. And yet somehow she's drawn to you, not in spite of your age, but because of it. You notice your eyes linger longer than they should. Chill the tension, the curiosity, and you can't help but wonder why. Is it your wisdom? The quiet way you carry yourself, maybe? But the truth, the one most older men completely overlook, runs much deeper. It's not your gray hair, Dot. It's not your status, Dot. It's something harder to name. Something deeper in your presence, in your stillness. Something you might not even know you're carrying. And once you understand it, you'll never see yourself the same way again, Dot. Because in this video, we're going far beneath surface, beyond the cliches, beyond myths. We're stepping into the raw, real psychology of what younger women truly see in older men. Not the fantasy, but feeling. The feeling of safety, maturity, and masculine calm. The feeling of being understood without aiming to explain. We'll explore why a man who suffered, who's been through heartbreak, failure, growth, can awaken something in a younger woman that she didn't even know she was longing for. Whether you're single, divorced, quietly wondering if it's too late or if love still sees you, this is for you. For the man who wants to connect not just with woman's body, but with her soul. For decades, the stereotype has been pushed like a broken record that younger women air, all secretly or not, so secretly on hunt for a rich older man. A sugar daddy. But let's be honest, that myth says more about the securities of men than it does about actual desires of women. The truth is, most younger women today are not attracted to money alone. They've seen what happens in those transactional effing chums. Emptiness, power games, manipulation masked as affection. What they are actually drawn to, often unconsciously, is emotional maturity. Someone who doesn't panic when things get tough. Someone who listens, compete with them, who doesn't feel threatened by their independence. If you think your wallet is your greatest asset, you're probably ignorant on things she's actually craving. Stability without control. And this is where real confidence becomes magnetic, not the loud, showy kind that tries to dominate a room, but the quiet, grounded confidence that doesn't need to prove anything. You walk into a cafe, sit down, and you're not trying to be. You just are. It's that calm energy. It says more than any designer jacket or six-pack ever could. There's a power in it. Performing and not trying so hard. Most women aren't looking for a man to impress them. They're looking for someone who's already impressed with who has become. Youthful charm fades. Begets old, but confidence, the kind born from self-respect and personal growth, latently deepens with time. And it's exactly that presence that leaves an imprint on her mind. Think about it. When a woman truly feels safe around a man, it's rarely because of his looks or status. It's because his energy is calm, judgmental. He's single quotes is not flinching when she opens up. He's not reacting defensively when she agrees. He doesn't crumble when life throws something messy their way. That kind of presence is rare. And women are wired psychologically, emotionally up on those subtle cues. The way you pause before you speak. The way you'll look her in the eyes without needing to dominate. The way your silence isn't empty, it's reassuring. So in a world full of emotionally frantic boys pretending to be men, someone who can hold space without controlling the outcome becomes a sanctuary. There's a reason to quote or resonate so deeply. Your calm is more attractive than your apes. It's not just poetic, neuroscientific. Calmness signals safety. Safety signals trust, and trust. That's the foundation of attraction that lasts. You can't fake this. You can manufacture it in a gimmer. Buy it in a luxury car showroom. You earn it by doing the work, by facing your elements, sitting with your own discomfort, and learning how to self-regulate. 'Cause when you can walk through the storm of life With stead eyes and a centered heart, she doesn't just notice you. She gravitates to you, and not because of what you can give her, but because of who you are when everything else is stripped away. Younger women, despite the stereotypes, often crave something far deeper than just fun, attraction, or excitement. What many truly long for, but don't totally always know how to name, is emotional grounding. A kind of presence that feels safe, solid, and unshakable in a world that moves too fast, filled with constant noise, superficial validation, and emotional immaturity. Being with someone who doesn't rush, who doesn't just react, but sees and feels, that comes. Rare, even magnetic. It's not about money or power to boot something quieter, subtler depth. They can't off men who doesn't need to prove himself every minute of the day, who can't sit with discomfort, who doesn't escape a non-distraction when things get complicated. That's the kind of depth many younger women intuitively gravitate toward. Older men often carry this kind of depth, not just because of age, but because of pain. Life has weathered them. They've been cracked open by disappointment, heartbreak, failure, even death. And in those cracks, something heavier formed. What nights might call emotional gravity. It's not loud, doesn't announce itself, but felt in the stillness behind high sighs and the way he speaks only when needed, in the way he holds silence without needing to fill it. This gravity comes from having lost and learned and survived without becoming bitter, and it grounds the people around him, especially women who are still exploring storms of identity, ambition, and emotion in themselves. When a man has rarely seen pain, not just felt it, but felt it, he listens differently. He no longer hears just words. Hears the hundredth words, is not quick to interrupt, defend, or dominate a conversation. His presence alone becomes a safe form of safety. He looks at you like us, not scanning for weakness, but recognizing it because he's been there. And when he touches you, there's nourish, no performance, just intention, just stillness. For a younger woman, woe is used to being pursued for her body or mirrored only for her beauty. This kind of deep seeing can be disarming and healing. Younger men, no matter how kind or attractive, often haven't lived in or broken enough to develop a skin of intimacy. They're still beckoning, still searching for their own worth, often in loud or distracted ways. It's not their fault. It's just the nature of time. But emotional intimacy, the kind that makes you feel held without being touched, requires a depth of being that only suffering, patience, and reflection can forge. That's why some younger women find themselves drawn not just to older men, but to men who have suffered well. Men who didn't let pain close them, but rather open them into something fuller, something moral, something quietly powerful in a world buzzing with distractions, notifications, deadlines, filtered selfies, and shallow conversations. True, masculine presence is becoming a raw and powerful force. And it's not about flexing muscles or having the loudest voice in the room. It's that quiet, grounded confidence of a man who is fully here. A man who's not waiting past peak, not performing, not trying to impress, just present. He listens with his whole body. His eyes don't dart away when she talks about something vulnerable. He doesn't interrupt her with solutions or jokes. He holds space with the calm steadiness that says you're safe here. This kind of presence can feel foreign, almost unnerving, because it sounds familiar in a rush-filled, hyper-stimulated age. Oh, many younger women, Avanthas who appear confident on the outside, carry deep emotional scars from being overlooked at misdirts, or only half listened to. They've grown up in a digital culture where attention is fragmented, where people swipe through faces like products and call it intimacy, where men look at them but rarely see them. So when a man walks in with a different energy, slow, grounded, unhurried, he doesn't just stand out, he becomes magnetic. Not because he's Rick or Carming or quoting Rumi over red wine, but because he offers something deeper than flattery. Mere affluence, a presence that say seem. With you not for what you give, maybe you for woe. You are, this is why older men win emotionally. Mature often become not deeply attractive, not just physically but spiritually, a woman can feel. Instantly, it's not chasing her validation, he's not performing confidence. He's lived through enough torment, he can sit in silence without needing to feel. If he can hold eye contact without trying to dominate. And perhaps most importantly, he can stay emotionally open even when she's no teasy to understand. That kind of energy isn't sexy in the shallow sense. It's soul-touching echoes in a world full of noise have becomes a kind of stillness, and in that stillness, something ancient in our softens. We live in a culture that rewards speed, cleverness, and endless stimulation. But presency doesn't come from speed, it comes from depth. It's forged in solitude, lost reflection, a man who has suffered and integrated thought. Suffering carries acquiescent gravity, and that gravity is what subconsciously longs for. Not the flash of dopamine, but the stability of presence. When you can sit across from her, completely undistracted, not reaching for your phone, not adjusting your mask, but simply being, she will feel it. Even if she can't explain why, she will remember you, because in that moment, you gave her something almost no one gives anymore, your whole self. Many older men quietly disqualify spells before even stepping into the game. They sit in cafes, glancing a beautiful woman, and then look away. Not because they aren't interested, but because a voice inside whispers, you're too old. She wouldn't want someone like Ku. It's not rejection that stings. It's the anticipation of it. This self-imposed exile is subtle, but powerful. Shows up in their posture, their hesitation, their silence. What they don't realize is they're not being judged by women. They're being judged by their own unhealed narrative. They're haunted by a culture that glorifies them, makes them believe that with every gray hair, they're becoming invisible. But invisibility doesn't come from age. It comes from believing you no longer have value. This belief leads many to fall into apt psychological crap. They start competing with younger men, trying to mirror their energy, their style, their speed. But women don't want an older man to act like a 5-year-old. That's no attraction. It's parody. When a man starts chasing trends, dressing like a boy, or talking with forced bravado, something feels off. It's like watching Simeon wear a costume they don't belong in. And women, especially emotionally inling ones, can feel fatal ligament instantly. They may not always be able to articulate it, but something in them pulls away, because women aren't looking for a full charm in an older man. They're looking for depth, steadiness, substance, and thousandly emerge when a man embraces his age, not when he hides from it. Then there are those who overcompensate, trying to impress with wealth, expensive riches, over-the-top generosity, or high status talk. But often this isn't power. It's insecurity stirred up in Chuchi, and again, women can feel it. The shifts from connection to transaction. Instead of I see you, it becomes let me convince you I'm worth your attention. And that energy desperate. Performative, slightly anxious is the very thing that kills desire. True masculine presence doesn't need to buy validation, doesn't need to perform, because the moment a man tries too hard to prove his worth, he consciously admits he doubts it. And that doubt repels what he's trying to attract. The most magnetic older men are the ones will have stopped apologizing for who they are. They don't hide their ankles. Okay, they wear them like Astri. They don't flinch when a younger man walks in. Nod and let them have a high, because they know something deeper. That confidence isn't a for man's dot. It's a quiet agreement with yourself. When a man is deeply okay with woe, haze when he doesn't shrink, doesn't ovary, doesn't explain, it radiates. That kind of grounded presence, second, be intoxicating to a woman. It's not because he's trying to seduce her butt back because he doesn't need to. He's full, centered, and rooted dot, and in a world of frantic performers, that stillness feels like power. Too many men think connection begins with charm or cleverness. Like love is a meth thing you trick someone into. But truth is, women can feel 5 ants between a man who's performing and a man who's grounded in himself. Emotional clarity means yak know who you are and what you'll feel, and are not afraid to reveal fate even if it makes you vulnerable. It means saying something real, like I'm actually nervous right now, instead of some rehearsed line in that small mammoth of honesty. It can do more than a dozen witty one-liners. Because clarity isn't loud, it's felt. It's in your tone, your eyes, your presence. It tells her I'm here fully, not pretending, not playing. And that for a woman seeking something genuine is irresistible in a world addicted to noise and speed. Depth is rare and deeply attractive. It's questions that go beneath the surface, like what's something you don't talk about often but think about all that time? Or when did you last feel truly olive? These aren't interrogation tools, they're invitations, gentle ones, to explore who she really is. And when she opens up, don't rush to feel the purveyor or smart enough to keep up. Just listen. Deeply. Make her feel seen. That's the kind offer restraint most men ever master because ego won't let them stay. Quiet longino to receive a woman's truth. But when you do, when you give her spaccato, be her whole self, not just thy version that flirts back. You give her few men ever offer emotional safety. You don't need to be flashy, rich, or relentlessly interesting. What she wants, what many women silently crave, is a man with a world of his own. A rhythm, a passion, a life that breathes with meaning. Whether it's the way you journal every morning, the stories bend, the music you love, or how you'll light up when talking about the ocean, that's what pulls her in. Not because you're showing off, but because they are showing something real. You're saying, here's who I am. Here's Sapphire. I live above. You're welcome to join me if you'd like. And that quiet confidence, that sense of purpose without performance, it opens a door for a connection. One that isn't based on impressing her, but on inviting her to walk beside you. You'll get connect through a mask. Q might attract, but it won't last. Real intimacy only begins when deep performances drop and both people say, here I am. Flaws and all dot, and that takes courage. It means rescuing rejection by being seen. It means nothing in your past, your fears, your uncertainty, and it also means embracing her with grace, not judgment. This is where connection lives in the messy human space where neither of you needs to be perfect. Because when she sees that you're not trying to be Sumi and Nails, that you're not trying to fit into hot, you think she wants you give her permission to do the same. And in that vulnerability, something deeper earthen attraction forms something true. Something rare, something worth the very thing. Music you might feel like your best days are behind you, that the years shave taken more than they've given, and the fire we walked through has left all my scars. But what if those scars aren't signs of loss, but proof of survival? Proof that to have been tempered, refined, and forged into something rare, a man who carries both strength and softness in same breath. There's a quiet power in that deep kind of truth that not flashy youth or empty charm can match dot. It's the kind of strength that doesn't shout, but whispers steady and real. And the woman who truly sees that in you, she's not chasing an illusion or a storybook hero. She's looking for the man who shows up as himself, flawed, honest, and unbreakable dot, because that kind of authenticity is magnetic in a world full of masks. And it's the kind of connection that lasts.